What's up, y'all? Happy Friday, and I'm back with another vinyl review. So, this one is pretty special because you've seen me do a couple weeks ago. If you watch my shorts where I do the It's Given series, new music that I review in a minute or less, I talked about Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion's new song Bongos. So, of course, you have this influx now of female rappers. You know, you have um, Flo Milli, Saweetie, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj, Ice Spice, Lotto. I mean, just all these female rappers. There's so many to choose from. I don't think I've ever seen so many female rappers out at one time. Um, but all of these female rappers, and I don't care what people say, you gotta give props to people that deserve it. So Lil Kim is one of the original what you would call it, bad women of rap or nasty women of rap, whatever you want to call it. But Lil Kim and Foxy Brown too. I feel like Lil Kim gets more of the credit. Um, but lyrically and musically, Foxy Brown's music is just as good. Of course, Lil Kim has more of a larger catalog than Foxy Brown because Foxy Brown only had 3 studio albums, whereas Lil Kim has several, like twice that, if not more. Um, but at this point in Lil Kim's career, and this is the Notorious K.I.M album that's here, it's funny how this cover, I remember, of course, her hardcore cover back in '96 was pretty risque, but this one is too. Now that's nothing. You know, it's just amazing how those boundaries and how she pushed the envelope back in the mid '90s is nothing now compared to what we see. So this was released in the year 2000, so coming out of that 90s music era, a lot of artists were, I feel, a little conflicted because we were entering the year 2000, so you have this futuristic feel, but then you're coming out of this golden era, which was the 90s, in my opinion, where I feel like R&B really reigned. Hip-hop did too, but also the fusion of R&B and hip-hop. So I say that to say Lil Kim's album Notorious K.I.M was really solid considering all of those factors. She had great success by this time. She had been about 4 or 5 years in the game commercially, at least. So let's get into this track listing a little bit. So this is a peek at the track list on the album. So you got CeeLo, it's one of the featured artists here on the first track. Redman, also featured artist. I got Mario Winans, Grace Jones, and Lil C's on the song called Revolution. So interesting when we think about fast forward to today, people like Grace Jones, how relevant she still is. This is 23 years later, and she's featured on songs, like with Beyonce now, and Janelle Monáe. So then we have How Many Licks with Cisco. That's one of my favorites. Really love that one. Of course, Puff Daddy's on here on one of the songs. Junior Mafia, Lil C's. This is really interesting considering shortly after this album is when Lil Kim did her prison stint related to some of the issues with Junior Mafia. Carl Thomas, Lil Shanice. I don't know who that is, to be honest. And Mary J. Blige. So the great thing about Lil Kim that I really respect is a lot of people, or she really doesn't allow people to outshine her. So a song like Hold On, for instance, Mary J. Blige, it's a very soulful song, kind of like a tribute to Biggie. Great track, one of my favorites, but Lil Kim is still the star of the show. Same on How Many Licks, even though it has a very catchy hook from Cisco. We're really all here for the verses that she did on that song, if I'm being honest. No matter what people say, or no matter what they say, rather, one of my favorite Lil Kim songs It just has this grimy kind of beat to it, but then it's still slightly pop, which I feel like this whole album, she straddled the fence quite well between the grimy street side and pop. Um, so when we get inside of this uh, cover here, it's a pretty thick album, which I can appreciate, or two discs, two vinyls, I should say. Um, Not a whole bunch of frills, but do have the writing credits, thank yous, all that sort of stuff on the inside, and then this little poster here on the inside. So let me know what you think about Lil Kim's album, The Notorious K.I.M. Is she in your top 5 or the Mount Rushmore of female rappers or not? Why or why not? So curious to know what you all think. And hey, until next time, thanks for tuning in to On the Needle. And all those of you who have not noticed or maybe have not seen it, of course, I do have a podcast as well called the Waterbearer Podcast. We are kicking off season 3 on October 5th. So if you have not already subscribed to that channel, please go ahead and do that too. And make sure you join the family and check out seasons 1 and 2 if you haven't already. And see you next time. Peace.